Last summer, I completely lost my mind. I went to places in my brain I was never meant to see and, frankly, never want to see again. Do yourself a favor. If you're tired, go to bed. I don't care if you're going to win $10,000 or you're going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. No matter what they say, it's not worth it.
Now count backward from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
What comes after 4?
2.
Keep concentrating. Just relax. Just concentrate and make your mind a blank. Okay, relax. Please, take this seriously. Relax and have a good time.
When I first got invited to document this world championship, I jumped at the chance. I always wondered about the kind of person that could push themselves like that and thought it would be fun to come as close as I could to matching them hour for hour. I couldn't find any evidence it was dangerous. Sure, not sleeping enough over a very long period of time can kill you, but as far as doing it once, your body just shuts itself down and you basically faint.
Tell me anything you remember.
So what would happen if you fought that tooth and nail? What would it feel like? I remember hearing this Scottish band called the Jesus and Mary Chains say not sleeping was their favorite drug. I'd wanted to try it, I mean really try the shit out of it ever since.
So nice to see you again. It's a pleasure to see you.
Dr. Schick.
It's a pleasure.
Glad to be here.
And tell me, how do you feel?
I feel fantastic.
No complaints?
No complaints at all, but things are about to change drastically.
Why?
We are filming a competition. A bunch of people are going to stay awake try to beat the world's record for movie watching.
So you won't sleep for how many days? For
what's 127? I think it's 4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
Ooh, wow. I don't think it's too smart what you are doing. Sleep deprivation is a dangerous procedure. The human brain needs sleep to recover. We work during the day, and we stress our brain, we use our brain, and the night sleep is a gift from God, gift from nature, to recover our mental function. So one extreme episode of sleep deprivation theoretically can cause brain damage.
So these people could die?
I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't go that far, but they can have mental impairment. Nice to see you, gentlemen.
I think the verdict here is Dr. Schick has said it's incredibly intelligent to stay up for 4 days. There's no possible side effects.
My conclusion is, you're a lucky guy. Right now your examination is normal. I don't find neurological dysfunction. It's part of your poor medical history. It's part of a head injury. But I think it's not too smart. I think quite contrary to subject yourself to sleep deprivation, because it can cause brain damage or brain dysfunction or psychotic break. If you do it, it's your responsibility.
But even growing up next to Stalin, you have never seen anyone die from it.
That's correct.
Yes! Let's do it.
Nice to see you. A pleasure.
Cheers, Dr.
Okay, so it was good, right?
Thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent, gentlemen.
The first movie-watching world record was set in 2003, and it was 66.5 hours and 35 movies. That's just under 3 days of sitting in a chair, staring at a screen, and not looking away once, no matter what. The Guinness Book of World Records allows contestants a 10-minute break in between every movie, and you can take a power nap then if you want, but while the movies are on, you had better be awake. On October 3rd, 2008, Netflix, the people who started this whole thing, built a plexiglass booth in the center of Times Square and hosted their second movie-watching world championship tournament. The contestants came from all over the world. The most experienced movie watchers, Claudia Wawra and Suresh Joachim, came from Germany and Canada respectively. Claudia attended a previous competition in Germany and brought the record to 117 for this new total of 127. Suresh, who is originally Sri Lankan, had never entered a movie-watching competition, but he watched TV for Regis and Kelly and managed to stare at ABC shows for 69 hours and 48 minutes straight. Suresh has 52 world records under his belt, so few thought he wouldn't go to the very end. The other 6 contestants are a competitive eating champion, another previous movie-watching world champion, a radio DJ, a film student, a winning contestant from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and a single dad with no job. Anyone and everyone who could beat the previous record and stay awake for the full 127 hours is eligible for the $10,000 prize. So we're here in the Netflix plexiglass house. They're preparing for the competition. We can see there's a lot of vacuuming going on. There's a little snack tray here. People will come in and they'll choose their seats. Once they've chosen a seat, by the way, it's not like, you know, your side of the bed for the rest of the marriage. Days and Minutes will be broadcast here. So, by the way, if you were watching this movie and you were to peek up and check your score or how long it's been, that's the end of the competition for you. You cannot even glance away from the movie screen. You'll notice, by the way, we have surround sound for each person, so they're getting a pretty thorough movie-watching experience. If it was only 3 or 4 films, this would be a lot of fun. 65 films, however, gets a little trying on the old psyche. So as these people get more and more sleepless, Seattle is going to get more and more insane. Jeff, can you give me a high five even with the apple? Nice. You got it. My money's on you, Jose. You got it, man. Matt, my money's on you, buddy. Jerry, you're going to kill it. Crazy? All my money's on you, Suresh. Sylvester, Suresh's manager. Hey, Suresh, how you doing, buddy? Don't know who you are, but you look great. Thanks for coming out. Claudia, hi, let's shake hands. And high five. Both. My money's on her. My money's on you, Cheryl. You got it. Shake hands and high five. I like to do both with the ladies because we're not going to kiss yet, but later on when we get to know each other better, there'll be a side kiss. So that's exciting. We just met all the contestants very briefly.
When you want to achieve something, you have to wear the pain. The pain is the big part for any achievements. You're in the business, so whoever can wear the blouse is the real businessman. So he's the man going to achieve the real target.
If you're trying to start a cult, I want to join. I'm in. Suresh was unlike any other contestant. He was kind of like the bad kid from the original Bad News Bears who would show up late on his motorbike with a cigarette in his mouth and proceed to hit a home run without even trying. Though he looked like the quintessential East Indian nerd, Suresh was actually the Arthur Fonzarelli of the whole group.
Well, I think that I'm going to go as far as I can. My goal right now is to make it to Monday. I don't know the math. I'm not a mathematician, but whatever hours that is, I think a lot.
Matt told us he left his girlfriend to do this show. He was a plump, funny guy that reminded you of Jimmy Kimmel on Thanksgiving. I kept wanting to hug the guy, but you have to watch that kind of thing when you have a mustache. People get the wrong idea.
I have a sleeping disorder, I have sleep apnea, so I'm
What's
kind
that
of.
again?
It's when you stop breathing, like I stop breathing 30 times an hour, and you never get full sleep, even though I won't need sleep. But I'm sort of at a disadvantage because my whole life I've been plagued with that. That's what I'll be.
So wait a minute, you occasionally just drop off in the middle of the day, like.
Oh yeah, definitely. When I'm driving to work, you know, I'm
Talk about an underdog.
Jose and Jerry were like a couple of kids that had rented 86 movies for a sleepover, but no sleeping was allowed. Technically, they were nerds, but as with all these contestants, you couldn't really peg them down with a title like that.
I work at a library. I'm a computer page / senior page. Basically, I just assist old people on the computers that don't know what they're doing.
Would you classify yourself as a sexy librarian?
I don't think so.
Are you a virgin?
Honestly, yes, I am.
Jeff was a loudmouth Texan who is worshipped in his tiny town because he won Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He's kind of like that King of the Dipshits guy from 16 Candles, but with way less of a filter between his brain and his mouth.
Unemployed's the story of my life.
Are you employed now?
No, I'm not. Living the dream. Yeah.
Though Crazy Legs was a successful competitive eater that had eaten 1 million hot dogs in an hour or something to that effect, he was very realistic about his chances and didn't seem to think he was going to go far.
Although I have somewhat of a, called a barstool narcolepsy. where because I'm so active, the moment I sit down, I generally fall asleep.
So you wouldn't put your money on you?
No, I actually am encouraging people to bet the under on me.
Cheryl had actually done this a few times before and already knew she was going to last longer than most. But she had no strategy, no tricks, no secret cheats. Her plan was simply sit in a chair, watch lots of movies, and win $10,000.
I must say I got the best sleep of my life after the first one, so I am looking forward to that.
How long did you sleep that time?
I slept for about 12 hours, and I don't sleep very solidly ever, so it was solid sleep. So I was like, this is what regular people feel when they sleep.
Claudia walked softly and carried a big stick. She didn't brag or discuss strategy much. She just smiled, answered your questions, and then sat in a chair for the better part of a week watching movies. You think you're going to make it through this snooze patient?
It's hard. It's get really hard to look at this movie.
Okay, well, don't schlafen die gut und treiben sie sus. Oh, I've been waiting to say that for a while. A lot of people, when they're in Times Square, they think, I wonder what this place is like at dawn. Well, we're here at dawn, and it's pretty much the same. It's not as crowded, and there's all kinds of things happening, like this building looks abandoned all day. It's the Good Morning America building, and there's people that line up, a lot of German clowns. Our friends over here at the Netflix booth have not faltered. None of them have blinked, none of them have looked away. They're lasting very well. I kind of like Times Square at this time of the day. We've been up all night, enjoying ourselves, going totally insane. This has only been one all-nighter so far, one of 5 we're about to go through. And I'd say the sanity level out of 10 is now down to a 6. So we're not really spending our sanity points well because we're about to go broke. Okay, it's been 20 hours at the Movie Watching World Championship. We've got a celebrity guest visiting the contestants here. I don't know if you're familiar with the rock band Kiss, but he's one of the most talented people in the world. He's had sex with over 3,000 women. He is considered the Prince of Darkness, not Ozzy, this guy, the king of rock and roll. Let's go meet our celebrity guest and have some rock and roll fun. So we're here at the Movie Watching World Championship. We got our celebrity guest here. He looks a lot different without his makeup on. And there's a lot more effervescent than I thought he would be. But it's kind of cool to meet him nonetheless. Kiss is probably my favorite band in the world. And we're going to be asking him about his wild groupie days. This guy has been around the block.
Hi.
Hey, I've always wanted to meet you. You're my favorite musician.
Hi, yes. What do you mean your favorite musician?
Got a minute 30,
bass.
guys, so that we don't break
I don't
the
play
rules.
bass. You think I'm in Kiss?
Right.
What?
Simmons. Problem with getting makeup off your face is it never comes off your eyes, so you look like you're wearing tons of mascara for about 3 days. Oh, great! Oh, I didn't know it would come off so easy. Oh, that's amazing. I guess that's how they make makeup now, right? You just a bit of water and it comes off. All right, well, that's cool. They say the best way to talk to the camera is to pretend it's a person, like a robotic cyclops who just landed here and wants to know what Earth's all about. I started with that idea, but it became reality almost instantly. I just spoke to him like he was a plastic sibling who was very quiet. All right. Now I look like I'm in the theater playing an old man. I'm gonna have to have a shower. Oh wait, I am an old man. Richard, I got an idea to keep people awake. I'm going to put all these energy drinks into one big blender, and then we can mix other stuff in there like this. And we got energy drinks. This got 5 hours in it.
No, excuse me, but this is going to get
we can get
high.
We can get fruit.
No.
But what if I mix it with fruit?
No, all you need is the fruit.
We'll get some fruit in there, but then we'll get the Red Bull in there. That's got other stuff.
I know they'll be up for 12 days.
Then they'll win the money. Isn't that good?
Know who they are. They're just going to.
They'll suffer from dementia, but they'll have $10,000. Isn't that good?
This is a really good idea.
I think it's going to work out great. Look.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm scared. Actually, I'm scared of the drink. Everyone, go back. It's going to explode. Everyone, go back. It's going to explode.
Ah! Oh, I feel a lot better. perfectly legal. It's perfectly legal to feel alive.
Bye.
I don't know. Am I the only guy with a boner right now? Are you a New York story?
Come from Brooklyn.
What's the worst fight you ever had with your mom?
When I didn't agree with her on something.
What was it you're not agreeing about? Just get into it.
No.
Do you think you could fit a pair of glasses in your foreskin?
No.
Knew it. Come on, matches crash. Matches crash. Let's go in, go in. Buckhead, get out here. Get out here. I don't know whether to slap you or to hug you. Wow.
Yeah. I let my exhaustion get the best of me, and during the last 3 minutes of a Marx Brothers movie.
Okay, what's 8 times 7?
Give me something easier.
What's 8 times 8?
48, right? No.
No.
Wrong.
What was the low point of the night as far as sleepy time goes?
I'll tell you, I know my opinion is definitely in the minority. I know other people have echoed the same sentiment that during The Matrix, some of us were. I thought that movie sucked. That movie sucked. I'd never actually seen it before, and I was having a hard time paying attention and keeping my spirits up. And a few other.
Maybe you have no nerd genes.
I guess that's it. I didn't understand, and I'd like to think of myself as a pretty bright person. That movie was so damn stupid. I don't even know where to start.
That's a great quote. Did you ever drive all night long? Around 4 or 5 in the morning, your brain starts sending you warning signals. You'll see Fred Flintstone in the median waving to you, or the lines in the middle of the road will turn into dancing snakes. That's your brain sending a message to your brain saying, I'm losing it. During the competition, this happened pretty early in the game, like day 2. Most people ignored the warnings, but Jeff got out the second he saw a beagle climb up one of the plants.
I swear to God, dude, I was seeing like this dog climbing up the side of the... I kept looking over there thinking I saw a dog. And I was looking at the screen. I couldn't make sense of what was going on. I've seen Willy Wonka a million times. Love that movie. I couldn't make sense of who Gene Wilder was. I could
not understand the movie.
I was just staring blankly at the screen like, what the hell am I doing?
Got dementia. You started to lose it.
And I'm pissed because Fletch is mine, and I picked it, but I knew I couldn't get through Willy Wonka and West Side Story to get to my baby Fletch.
West Side Story is going to be a chore, especially when you've lost your mind.
Dude, yeah, marbles, they were everywhere.
Yeah, it's all you do. You sit in the chair and see like 70 movies.
Coffee can and I'll be set.
Park the cab and give it a work.
Oh, I'm about to, man. Yeah, but no pouring allowed, right?
No pouring allowed, man.
Got a cab driver there that's speaking screamy talk.
Hey, you got a crutch?
He sounded like he was falling off a building.
He did.
Crutch.
I mean, I thought I'd do all right, but man, that's something else.
Begun.
I know. Ashish, that he's a rock, man.
It's Hashish? I thought it was Suresh.
Suresh. Oh, what did I just? Oh.
Said Hashish.
Give me his last name in there. I don't know, dude. I'm telling you, I'm flipping out, dude.
You know what's funny about being incredibly tired? It looks a lot like being incredibly mad. It's very similar facial features. And if you look over at Crazy Legs, he looks grumpy. We've actually been up for as long as he has, and speaking on behalf of the cameraman, we're all very exhausted. Craze.
Going on, all right. I think I'm going on a Fletch here. Almost 33 hours in the Netflix plexiglass box. I feel Fletch would understand, you know. So I think this might be it. I knew once I heard Patti LaBelle singing that Fletch and Crawl. That was 33 hours in the box. So
I noticed you've chewed the shit out of that cigar. You've been holding that in your mouth for a while now.
You know what? West Side Story is absolutely atrocious.
So Jose ordered a cup of ice from one of the girls. He brought it over, and instead of sucking on the ice like everyone thought he would, he opened his pants and dumped it down. And there's more. Then, later on, he asked for a bag of ice to put on his balls. And I said, why would you do that? He said, for 10 grand and my balls are cold, I won't go to sleep.
Wow. Do you want to hear a fart? That's something to grow on. Netflix.
Hi, good morning. What is your...
It's 'cause they've done surveys and found there's over 6 million different bacteria in microphones.
Oh, really? I've never heard that story. Yeah, so I'm so impressed that story.
Yeah, it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, could be.
What are you guys doing here? Partying?
Well, we want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
We just bought 4 Madonna tickets for $800.
Uh-huh.
Fake.
No way. So you bought them off a guy on the street. It's welcome to New York City. You got hustled. Times Square is a bizarre place. People talk about diversity and how America is the melting pot, but you don't get much more variety than Times Square. What's your name again, sorry?
I'm Rene.
Rene?
Yes, sir.
Now, you control everyone's dreams and lead them on journeys when they're asleep. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit scary. A little bit interesting.
I'm really not a movie guy.
Are you in movies?
No.
Okay, because you know who you remind me of?
Who?
Tom Hanks. Hey guys, we've heard there were some nerds in Times Square. Do you know where they might be? It's actually weirder since it got cleaned up because the dichotomy between gross and clean got pushed into overdrive. There's homeless people dying of addiction in cardboard boxes on the road next to Midwestern moms waiting to get into Good Morning America next to a man in his underwear playing guitar.
I would say the Rocky probably movies were most, formative.
They are a lot of fun.
Rocky.
And you're like an underdog kicking ass, just like Rocky.
That's what I'm saying. Those thematics where it's the underdog, like you say.
No one thought you were going to make it, and you made it. Kicking ass.
Some people say I'm still not going to make it.
No, you're it. The whole city is like a huge, multicolored barf, and you're the fly buzzing around it, wondering where to land. First, you feel great. It's exciting to know you don't have to go to bed, like the first time you got a babysitter and realized she had no idea you were supposed to be in bed before 9. Then you hit a series of walls. The first one is easy to get through because it only lasts about an hour, but they get progressively thicker and more difficult to pass until, at around day 3, you are permanently inside the wall, like those armored bugs you find living in bricks. You're not going to make it through this part, so you learn to live there, inside the wall. We're here. We've just passed the 2-day mark at the Movie Watching World Championship. Jose is at death's door. He's been acting even stranger than he usually acts. And to give an example of what I'm talking about, he's just requested more ice. Jose would dump a cup of ice on his genitals and then meticulously pluck them off if he had to get up. It was a ritual he did with so much dexterity, it must have been a regular thing. Yeah. So we're just past the day 2 mark. How's it feeling, Suresh?
Yeah, it's good. We have other 70 hours to go. It's good.
Yeah, that's not so bad. You're over the hump. The beginning is the hardest part, right?
Yeah, beginning is the hardest part, finishing is the easiest part.
A little giggly after 2 days.
2 days? After 2 days, we started to dance now. You see? We are dancing now.
Whoa.
We were looking like strangers. Now we started to dance,
Wow. They have to watch the credits. The credits are going up here on Rent. Jose will be happy to know that Rent is finally done. He'll never have to see it again.
My favorite part of the movies because they represent closure. So that's the worst musical because they try to be hip and none of that shit rhymed or anything. That shit was stupid.
What's the plot of Rent?
determine state's evidence. What's that?
We're not talking about being groggy after a late night and needing an extra cup of joe. We're talking about completely and possibly irrevocably altering your consciousness. How's your buddy Jose holding up?
He's been doing good. More ice in the pants.
More ice in the pants.
Yeah. And that seems to work for him. And he's crashing pretty hard between the movies, but we're waking him up before it starts.
Jose, you didn't know him obviously before that.
No.
But you guys are becoming pretty good friends.
Yeah, you actually learn a lot about a person and their habits while spending, a few days in a cube in the center of Times Square with them.
So he could just sit down next to Jose and let Jose sleep, but he loves Jose. So Jose had a nap. He had a 10-minute nap. Oh, and so did Suresh. And he's back up. It's like watching someone be born. Good morning. Suresh has won something like 52 world records. He stood on one leg for 72 hours until it almost popped. He DJ'd for several days in a row. The guys ran all over the world and, I don't know, eating a car or something. I couldn't keep track of all his records. When I heard he was married, I made some quip about him having the best marriage in the world, but there actually was a ton of records broken at his wedding. The guy shat world records, and he had diarrhea about it. You swear to God, Suresh is not a robot.
I can swear to the God. I never swear to the God.
Oh, interesting. So you're not willing to say that Suresh is not an android?
Yeah, I can say that.
So what are we at now? 2 days, 13 hours, 42 minutes. We've been here, running out of steam, talking. Did you see that? Threw eggs at me. What is this, the 20s? Next, they're gonna put shit in a paper bag and let it on fire in front of our front door. Look at you go.
You know it.
You made us eat lunch across the street because we were so sure you were going to go down that no one wanted to go too far from the military base.
Why do you think I was going to go down?
Because you were speaking in tongues. You were delirious. You had ice on your balls.
Yeah, that's determination.
You're kicking ass now.
I am, man. I feel great. So I'm just following the champ's example over there. She's doing it too.
The sponsors brought in exercise bikes because they were scared the contestants' limbs were going to go numb and fall off. It seems absurd to start exercising when you're about to faint from exhaustion, but it actually pulled a few people back from the edge. You think you got this in the bag?
You know, I'm actually kind of scared that I'm going to do something. But it's funny because there's times where I black out, and that my eyelids should be over my pupils. But no, I haven't got red flag. So I'm thinking that I can sleep with my eyes open, that my determination is that much that I can sleep with my eyes open if needed to.
You're having blackouts.
Oh, yeah.
Lucid blackouts with your eyes open.
Yeah.
Hi, Claudia. How are you?
Oh, I'm just tired.
This is about mental strength. Anyone can stay up for 5 days. The challenge is figuring out how. Where weightlifters practice and try to beat the world record of bench pressing 1,010 pounds, or sprinters try to run a mile under 3 minutes and 43 seconds, world champion movie watchers have to go to places in their brain few have ever ventured. Insanity is the first and most serious side effect of sleep deprivation, and to ride that is to go on a very strange journey that takes immense courage. Think of it as someone dropping 5 hits of acid or something. You wouldn't be that impressed to look at them, but to know the journeys they are going on in their brain and the hallucinations they are having and the complete topsy-turviness that can go on when you screw with your brain like that makes them a lot more heroic and courageous than most world explorers. Hi, we're here with the EMT master, an ex-cop named, what's your name again?
Steve.
Ex-cop named Steve. We've been here for 2 days, no sleep. People are getting very tired. Claudia's eyes look like they're just razor slits right now.
Absolutely.
What's the human body going through after 2 days of no sleep? What's happening to us?
It's pretty much fucked. I mean, that's basically in a nutshell.
We're here back with the porta potties. It's I was gonna say 1:00,000 in the morning, but it's. Did you ever have trouble with these? Like I've had an analog watch for my entire life, and I still like if people stop in the street like, "Hey man, can you tell me what time it is?" You're like, "Yeah, no problem." It's 4. This is actually, it's hard to convey to the viewer at home, but we were just wandering around bored out of our minds looking at boxes, and right as we were doing this, it's been 2 days, 16 hours, right as we were wandering around bored out of our minds, Jose quit. Let's get in there and check it out. Here he is, looking away from the screen. What is 7 plus 7?
14.
What's 7 times 7?
49.
What's 8 times 8?
64.
Dude, that's fast.
A smart guy.
Name a bunch of continents.
Asia, Antarctica, North America, South America, Europe.
What's the alphabet backwards?
I can only do that drunk.
You're drunk?
I can only do that drunk.
Did you really think you were going to win? Did you feel like you had it?
I did. I mean, I was feeling good. We saw, what was that Western film? Silverado. 2 hours and some minutes. Eyes was glued to the screen. Like, it's funny, it has this impact. Like, when you first start watching the screen, you can see the screen plus some. And then when the time keeps shrinking down, so does your vision. And all you can see is the screen. It's just all you see. You don't even see the borders of the TV. And that's the hardest part. Your eyes get heavier. And I was like, man, if I can do this, I can do anything.
Ooh, imagine climbing into bed all nude and slithering around on the freshly washed sheets like a little lizard, and all your nerve endings are feeling the cool follicles of the inviting cotton fabrics. You'd be like a little rude snake.
Yeah. Some Apatow. And maybe some, some categories.
Maybe it's time we revealed ourselves to the viewers at home. The production crew, the cameraman, and everyone, we have decided to take on the name Skeleton Crew. And it's a 3-syllable name. It's not Skeleton Crew. It's Skeleton Crew. And you take the L and the T and the C and you crunch it into one consonant. So it's Skeleton Crew. Oh my God, that's 2 syllables. Skeleton Crew is 2 syllables. We are a 2-syllable gang. Skeleton Crew. One thing that was going to be different with Skeleton Crew from Bloods and Crips and stuff is, and this is the number one problem with all gangs, the Grande Familia, the Mongols, all these gangs. My 2 cents, pay more attention to people when they get arrested. So what we're going to do with Skeleton Crew is we're going to have the best lawyer in the world, and when people get arrested, we're going to actually treat them better than when they're in the gang. And that's what Islamic fundamentalists do with this, martyrdom. We're going to have videos for guys that get arrested, and the guys that get arrested are actually going to be, they're going to feel like the stars. And I think that that's going to be the future of your gang, and that's what we're going to do with Skeleton Crew. And if you want to join, we shouldn't be soliciting gangs on Netflix. If you want to join, email us separately. Hello? So, let's check it out. We just lost Jerry. We just lost Jerry. Let's see if he's okay. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm actually awake.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I'm doing good. I'm actually awake. I just can't, get into the movie, and apparently I blinked for about 20 seconds, so that's...
That's a great quote. So do you feel like after Jerry was a fastidious little nerd who reminded me of a beaver with a cocaine problem, though I got the feeling he hasn't tried either of those things. He went way longer than any of us expected, but after losing Jose, it was just a matter of time. 4 hours after his friend blacked out, Jerry did the same. When the first few contestants dropped out, everything became more real. Now it wasn't just some silly game where a bunch of strangers sat in a chair. It was professional record breakers distinguishing themselves from 6 billion other human beings. We were now part of an elite group who were making history. This is how Herbie Hancock must have felt when he first signed the Declaration of Independence.
Okay, we're here. Feeling properly pumped. Most of us are on our second wind. It's been 3 days now. It's not really a day to us. It's just there's a fiery planet that keeps going up and down in the background, but we don't even look at our watches. So it's been 3 days we've been wandering around here, cheating, I'll admit, and taking the occasional cat nap, but there's been no showering. And a Native American tradition with a lot of tribes is having what's called a smoke shower, where you bathe and get your bad smells off by smoking yourself out. So we're just going to be staying here and just trying to get in the armpits. That's really where most of the stench happens. You want to get in the pits. And then obviously the groin area, but you can't rub that in public, so just sort of wave it around and feel it go through the legs. One of the ways that Frank Sinatra would recover from extreme hangovers is he'd fill the sink full of ice and dip his head in, and he said he felt like $1 million after. I'm going to try it to stay awake now. I think it works. I feel a lot peppier. It's actually physically painful to put your face in ice water. It's not like it's refreshing or shocking. It feels like glass. Hi, Claudia. Are you going to the bathroom? I'm great. How are you doing?
Very good.
Well, thank you very much. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You were a little shaky this morning. You looked exhausted at around 10 a.m.
Yes, yes.
And now you look like your twin, your pretty twin.
Yeah, so you're lovely. Would you marry me?
Yeah, I'm in.
Really?
Yeah. You must have a second win here. You seem rejuvenated.
After 3 days, I forget about it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Divorce.
Well, we would still have to consummate the marriage if we're married for 3 days.
Yeah, it's okay. We can do this after the break.
Well, we have how much time?
1 minute left.
That's perfect. That's a marathon for me. Yeah, let's go. Here comes Suresh coming out of the porta potty. How'd that feel, eh?
Really.
Oh, man. It's like taking a shit out of your penis.
The best place to record ideas is in bed, just as you float through that state between being awake and falling asleep. I met a director in London once who would snort heroin and take a bath trying to get his brain into that magical state. When we approached day 4, I could feel my brain dock at that special place where all the ideas come out. All of a sudden, the philosophy of mathematics became incredibly clear. In fact, I could prove beyond the shadow of a doubt, we don't exist.
Oh! I just thought of something.
I just had an epiphany that I really hope I have the vocabulary to convey. But I just realized that we don't exist. And I can prove it mathematically. What is size, right? Like, how does Rob the cameraman know he's tall? Because relative to other people, he is above average in height, so that is tall. Things are defined by their relativity to other things, okay? So, say you had an elephant and a beach ball. Now, that beach ball's small, right? Because it's near an elephant. So when you just thought of the beach ball, say there's only 2 things in the world, a beach ball and an elephant, and someone said, what's small and what's big? You'd go, an elephant's big and a beach ball's small. Well, what if the elephant started growing? What if it became 10 miles high? Now that beach ball is very, very small, right? What if the elephant became 100 miles tall?
Now that beach ball is infinitesimally small, right? It's almost nothing, but it's not nothing, but it almost is. What if the elephant started expanding ad infinitum? Okay? For literally infinity. Well, now the beach ball is infinitely small. And you go, okay, well, that's just one beach ball and one elephant. That's not relevant here. What if the elephant was the entire universe and it went on forever? That beach ball keeps shrinking. That beach ball is the planet Earth. We are shrinking infinitely tinier right now. Now here's the big part of this. Mathematically, the definition of something that's infinitely small is 0. So when you say, oh, we could be a molecule in a giant's thumbnail, that's huge compared to what we are. The giant's expanding infinitely. We're smaller than a molecule. We're infinitely small. We're literally 0.
Howdy doody, Dinker Beans. We're diddly-dopped here at the 4 million hours mark. We've been here since the cave days, and you should have seen New York. When we started this, it was just an island with a few Indians running around. Some guy showed up with some beads, and bang, this happened within like the past 100 years.
I think so. I think you're right.
So your eyes are getting heavy, they're getting lower, and then you have a blink. I bet it feels like heaven, that blink, when you...
No.
It's just a regular blink.
Yeah, it doesn't feel better. You're just numb anyway, so you really don't know. You don't even really notice. It's just like a...
So you had a blink like any other blink, but this one, when you woke up, a judge was going, that's not a blink. Well, it was great meeting you.
It's great meeting you.
How you doing?
Awesome. How you doing?
We're here with a naked cowboy in Times Square.
You want to say that again?
Well, I was just on an exercise bike, really giving her.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm naked cowboy, keeping it real for you. I'm naked cowboy. You gotta do what you gotta do. What's up?
How you doing?
Awesome.
Being exhausted means your body occasionally sends you a huge surge of energy. It must be from cave days where the DNA realized their host was dying of starvation, so they sent out a huge pile of energy to get you out there killing small game again. Go get us a rabbit, dude. We're fading. During one of these energy rushes, I decided we had to unload all the free popcorn immediately. The board security guards were happy to help. We must have unloaded about 40 boxes of popcorn in under 10 minutes. Shit, maybe that was a world record in and of itself.
You're not my father!
I can't feel my legs. Is my right leg moving?
Why you can produce one film name is Underwear? So don't you like to do a film like that?
You'd like to watch a movie about underwear?
Yeah.
Because of me and the naked cowboy.
You know, I got the idea today when I was watching all the Netflix movies. I got an idea because they are playing all Iron Man, Iron Man, Batman, what's the other man?
Superman?
Superman, Maximan. So I'm trying to produce a movie now. I thought in my mind, Oil Man.
Oil Man?
Yeah, how is that?
I love it.
Yeah, that's good, it's good.
And what's his power? He shoots oil out of his hands?
He's going to destroy all the oil companies in all of the world.
I was too high with this guy who was disfigured once, and he kept talking about his face and how, he's different than other people. And I was like, can we talk about this another time? This is actually a cool feeling. It's exciting. And it's kind of cozy staying up this late. You feel like your body's made of sleeping bags and comforters and down feathers and stuff. It's a very cozy feeling being up all night. And I find I'm a lot less irritable. Usually those squeaking buses annoy me. Fire truck. Holy shit! A Segway. Oh, sorry, you got all excited. Thought I was talking about you.
I was.
Okay, holy shit, it's you!
Hey, it is me. How are you?
Well, I've been up for 4 days.
You're looking well. You ask for a Starbucks espresso shot in a venti cup. That's 8 espresso shots. Iced.
Ooh.
Delicious.
And how long does that keep you up?
3 or 4 days. That's why you and I are getting along so good.
Staying up all night makes you feel funny. Everything slows down and the whole world becomes less intense and more tolerable. You can hold a half-decent conversation, but the same way teenagers always have sex in the back of their minds, all you can think about is how fantastic it would be to go to bed.
What are you doing up here?
What am I doing? What am I not doing? I just came from a lesbian party where 100 girls threw strawberry shortcake at one girl, and 20 girls licked it off. I came off of that, and honestly, I'm a different man. So when I saw you, it all makes sense.
So you're wasted because you're coming back from a bachelor party.
You know it, sir.
I was told alcohol is about 3 times stronger when you don't sleep, so I had a few whiskeys. Within an hour, those 3 whiskeys hit me like 9, and I was completely shit-hammered. I don't remember a thing after that.
Let's go over to CW11 and see what's making there. I don't care about you. Get out of here, you yellow albatross.
What are you guys doing up so early?
What are you doing up so early?
This is me every day.
You already said that.
Yes.
What about you, yes?
I'm good, thanks. Have a great day.
Get out of here.
Exactly.
What you said times a million.
You're a man of many languages.
Get out of here.
Beat it.
Built, put in a thing times 1,000, shot in the universe, stamp no erases, erase with no stamps.
Exactly.
This guy's good, man.
The crew and I started hating each other. They hated me for making them work so late, and I hated them for making me work so late. They kept antagonizing me with a bunny, and I kept forgetting they were doing that.
That's starting to make me mad.
Day 4.3. I have drastically underestimated the kind of internal strength it requires to stay awake this long. I would classify this mission as fail, because I no longer feel like a participant. The game had taken over my body, and I was now a spectator, watching myself from afar. Contestants keep talking about these 20-second to a minute links where they think only a second went by, but the judges have to tell them they're actually asleep. I don't have a judge. I don't know if I blinked or when I slept. I might be asleep right now. I started remembering shit I hadn't thought of since I was 10 years old.
I didn't really know what fornicating was back then, and my parents would always sleep late, right? Because they love booze. I remember walking in, and that song was all over the radio, and I wanted to wake up my dad. Like, come on, Dad, wake up. Let's start the day. And I walked into my parents' bedroom. Don't! And I went up to my dad who was passed out, and I was like, I go to him, I go, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's make love tonight. And he goes, oh, for fuck's sakes! And that's when I realized you never ask your dad to make love. They hate it.
It all becomes one swirling ball of sideways experience that makes most drugs seem like complete pussies in comparison. When you're that low, the lowest you've ever been in your whole life, it's impossible to accept that you're way too high.
guess what? If you want to run us over, you better get every piece of our microphone, because we're gonna find some part of it and put it back. So you lost. What's this movie?
I don't know what's going on now. I hate what they're going now.
You're so close to the end, man. It's 4 days and 19 hours.
Oh, love. I love to sleep today. Having a black label and one bottle black label.
You're out of your mind. You're scaring me.
Yeah.
You've gone bananas.
Bananas and no more bananas for 1 year.
Yeah.
No more bananas and no more water.
I'm gonna step over here. Is this a good movie?
I don't know him, but it's a sports movie. I like sports movies, so it is a good movie.
Are you following the plot?
Yeah.
What's the plot?
To break the record, to sit down, just relax.
The plot of the movie?
Pardon?
I meant the plot of the movie.
Oh, the plan, the movie? Yeah. Always the win. That's the plan.
Well, hello there. It must be you. Hi. These motherfuckers are continuing to plow through this movie, and they're not going to stop. And they think it's Claudia versus Suresh. As far as I'm concerned, it's them versus us. Can we go home already? You know, when I talk to you, all I can think about is how much I want to eat some chocolate.
Why is that?
You look like a piece of delicious chocolate.
I know, but don't find me, please. I'll buy you any amount of chocolate you want, okay?
I want to drop you in my coffee.
All right, go ahead, try.
Coming up to the world's record, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Suresh and Claudia. It's been an amazing journey together, and you pulled it out. We are thoroughly impressed by you both.
Ladies and gentlemen, we began this journey 5 days ago. In fact, 5 days, 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 25 seconds ago. These two, we began with 8. But these two movie watchers, these endurance professionals, Suresh Joachim of Canada and originally from Sri Lanka, and Claudia Wapra of Germany, have now broken the Guinness World Book of Records record.
I got a question to the media. Are you guys excited to meet Suresh and Claudia, and do you think this is a great opportunity?
Yes.
Yes. And are you impressed by them being awake for 5 days?
Yes.
Thank you. Dude, you're a world record holder. What are you at now, 38?
This is my 56th world record item, so I'd like to thank again to Netflix company. They are gonna create another world record.
How do you feel?
And I'd like to thank the best documentary man, Mr. Gavin and
Mr.
Jason, both. I have to thank them.
You got a bit of stubble after 5 days.
Good job, because they come and check every time. Because of that only we will wake up. Otherwise we don't sleep early.
So we're responsible for your world record.
Yeah, you are responsible.
You're welcome.
Movie star in Hollywood.
Get it! 10,000 bucks. Me, Claudia, and Suresh. We got 20 grand to party with tonight. The three of us. The three amigos. So what's 20 divided by 3? It's like 7 each, right? 7,500 each.
If you're seeing and
Let's
hearing things that aren't there while
cheers, Scout and Crew. Scout and Crew!
Scout Crew! So it's the question of whether you're awake or asleep that makes the difference. And in his case, since he wasn't allowed to sleep, it's as though his normal dreaming pattern.
I had some ideas for records. Not beating off. I mean, longest piece of salami to put into your sock. I feel like I could win that right now. Most hats to throw in the East River. Most eyelashes in a burrito. World's longest t-shirt snake. Like, I don't understand how Guinness draws the line. Most sausages put in 19 buckets. Where does he say, oh, right, that's ridiculous. And by the way, I meant to bring this up earlier. Claudia and Suresh watch movies for 6 days, right? That's amazing. They're better than 6 billion people. We did not do that. We snuck cat naps and we fell asleep and we wandered around Times Square. We're not better than 6 billion people, and I would never say that, but we're better than like 3 billion. I mean, we did some shit. You guys didn't watch movies for 5 days. You only watched movies for an hour, basically, and you looked at my face while you stayed awake. I think that is actually more impressive than a bunch of fucking Germans and people from, what, Sri Lanka? Where's that even? Probably in Europe. I think you're the winner for watching this to the very end. And I think you deserve $10,000, a lifetime subscription to Netflix, and a hug from Jerry Seinfeld. Whom is my accountant's personal friend and whom would like to hook it up? Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with your abortion.
Cousin of Death was on the guest list. Robots and gold watches all over the set list. Yes, sir. Decon kills rats. I'm running with my wolf pack like Wolfman Jack.
If you're seeing and hearing things that aren't there while you're awake, you're mad. If you're asleep, you're normal and having a dream. So it's the question of whether you're awake or asleep that makes the difference. And in his case, since he wasn't allowed to sleep, it's as though his normal dreaming pattern began to show itself.